Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunti Hari Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajaganandana Yashodanandana Brajaganandana Jamuna Tira Vanasari Jamuna Tira Vanasari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Brajaganandana Yashodanandana Brajaganandana Jamuna Tira Vanasari Jamuna Tira Vanasari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pri Vrajagachaja Stotra Satta Sri Simad His Divine Grace Tilabai Charan Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Gandhi Founder Acharya Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Sastakur Ki Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtana Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Thai Gaur Pimanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurundaritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Staritam Jena Bhutale Swayampa Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Tirupam Sarvajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Radhan Sahagana Lilita Sakanditam Sha He Krishna Guna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Kanta Namostute Saptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shri Shabanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpa Tirubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaha Nanam Namaskritya Saram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, first offer respectful obeisances to Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Saraswati, Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Pravesha Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, All that is troublesome with heart becomes destroyed, practically nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who says with translated songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Ramasamisam Utamashloka Saritam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Sayanam Maha. The Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Surabhyaya Namaha. Om Surabhyaya Namaha. Om Surabhyaya Namaha. Mukam karoti vatanam pangum langayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our Bhagavatam class. We continue Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, entitled Pure Devotional Service. Today we text 1.5.15. Yeah. Savai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveo Maha Rataha Bala Kridana Kai Kridan Krishna Kridam Ya Adari Sabai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveya Maha Pandaveyo Maharataha Bala Kridanakai Kridan Krishna Kam Yadadaje Sabai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharataha Bala Kridanakai Kridan Krishna Kridam Yadaye Sabai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharataha Bala Kridanakai Kridan Krishna Kridam Ya adade Tabai Bhagavato Raja Pandaveyo Maharata Kridana Kai Kridan. Yeah. Okay. Saha he vai certainly Bhagavataha, a great devotee of the Lord, Raja Maharaj Parikshit, Pandaveya, grandson of the Pandavas, Maharataha, a great fighter, Bala, while a child, Krinakai, with play dolls, Kridan, playing, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Kridam, activities. Yaha, who, Adade, accepted. Translation and purport by the Bhante C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, was from very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Krishna by imitating worship of the family deity. Kindly repeat after me. Maharaj Parikshit, the grandson of the Pandavas, who from his very childhood was from his very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Krishna by imitating the worship of the family deity. Report. In the Bhagavad Gita 6:41, it is stated that even a person who has failed in the proper discharge of yoga practice is given a chance to take birth in the house of a devout Brahmana, or of in the house of devout Brahmanas, or in the houses of rich men like Kshatriyas, Kshatriya kings, or rich merchants. But Maharaj Pariksit was more than that, because he had been a great devotee of the Lord since his previous birth. And as such, he took his birth in an imperial family to the Kurus, especially that of the Pandavas. So from the very beginning of his childhood, he had the chance to know intimately the devotional service of Lord Krishna in his own family. The Pandavas, all being devotees of the Lord, certainly venerated family deities in the royal palace for worship. Children who appear in such families fortunately generally imitate such worship of the deities, even in the way of uh, childhood play. By the grace of Lord Krishna, we had, okay, it's in this purport. So Prabhupada will be explaining that fortunate souls, great persons, they appear in either Brahmana families or Kshatriya families. And here he will explain how actually by Krishna's mercy, I also appeared in a Brahmana or aristocratic family. By the grace of Lord Sri Krishna, we had the chance of being born in a Vaishnava family. Yes. And in our childhood, we imitated the worship of Lord Krishna. By imitating our father. Our father encouraged in all respects to observe the functions which such functions such as the Rath Yatra and Dol Yatra ceremonies. Dol Yatra is for Purnima, just around the corner. And he used to spend liberally for distributing prasadam to us children and our spiritual master, who also took his birth in a Vaishnava family, but got all inspirations from his great Vaishnava father, Thakur Bhaktivinoda. That is the way of all lucky Vaishnava families. These celebrated Mira Bai was a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna, as the great sister of Govardhan Hill. And the last paragraph in the purport, the life history of many such devotees is almost the same, because there is always symmetry between the early lives of all great devotees of the Lord. According to Jiva Goswami, Maharaj Parikshit must have heard about the childhood pastimes of Lord Krishna at Vrindavan, for he used to imitate the pastimes with his young playmates. According to Sridham Swami, Maharaj Parikshit used to imitate the worship of the family deity by elderly members. Sri Vishwanath Chakravarti, Chakravarti, the original, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti also confirms the viewpoint of Jiva Goswami. So accepting either of them, Maharaj Parikshit inclined to Lord Krishna from his very childhood. He might have imitated either of the above mentioned activities, and all of them established his great devotion from his very childhood, a symptom of the Bhagavata. Such Mahabhagavata, such Mahabhagavatas are called Nitya Siddhas, yeah, or souls liberated from birth. But there are also others who may not be liberated from birth, but who help. I'm sorry. But there are also others who may not be liberated from birth, but who develop a tendency for devotional service by association, and they are called sadhaka siddha. And there is no difference between the two in the ultimate issue. And so the conclusion is that everyone can become a sadhana siddha, a devotee of the Lord, simply by association with the pure devotees. The concrete example is our great spiritual master, Sri Narada Muni. In his previous life, he was simply a boy of a maidservant. But through association with great devotees, he became a devotee of the Lord of his own standard, unique in the history of devotional service. Translation again. Maharaj Parikshit, grandfather of the Pandavas, was from his very childhood a great devotee of the Lord. Even while playing with dolls, he used to worship Lord Krishna by imitating the worship of the family deity. So this word is in the text itself. Kridanakai, or Krida. Krida means playing. It is. There are specific childhood pastimes regarding toys, for example. One of Varnasrama Prabhu has compiled. There are 64 arts and sciences. They are mentioned in the Brahma Samhita, and they make up. That's part of what we call traditional education. We will be introducing here in our Varnasrama college as many of these 64 arts as possible. Also, music is there, of course. So you'll music guru. Then we'll call our Murari Hari Prabhu, who's not far away. He'll be our flute guru. And like this, these are the traditional arts and sciences which, if one is fortunate to be born in pious family, Brahmana family, Kshatriya family, Vaishnava family, the Prabhupada is telling by reading this text how he had that great opportunity. Because I was, by Krishna's arrangement, born in aristocratic family, Malik family, Kolkata. And my Guru Maharaj also His father was a Paramahamsa. Also was born in a Vaishnava family. Such living entities who are taking birth in a Brahmana family, Kshatriya family, they are pious. Because they are the two main personalities within the system of Varnasrama who are leading by example. They are the natural in society. And why they are the natural leaders in society? Because from birth, they are learning so many things in relation to spiritual life. And as Prabhupada mentions, imitating. We see that very often. Small children, they will imitate adults. When the adults are performing good activities, pious activities, to imitate. And when the adults are doing bad activities, they'll imitate that also. Unfortunately, yeah. Prabhupada would explain how the children who are born in our Krishna consciousness movement, they are most fortunate. Just like we see these children here, they get very nice association with other sadhus. Even before taking birth, within the womb of their mother, they have already heard so much of kirtan. Just like I showed you this, that boy playing mridanga. I'll show it to him. Boys খুব আছে mridanga. Yeah. I have this now. But yeah, I think this was this very we okay. It's not connected somehow. Hmm? This seems to be recording. Okay. So someone shared a very inspiring, very short video of this young boy playing mridanga. Yeah, I got it. You can. Well, I'll show it here actually. একজন বয়স 5 বছর, maybe it's 5. Very enthusiastic. That's just like real, completely natural. The Prabhupada will say, such children born in our movement, they are most fortunate And that's why the responsibility of parents is uh, very high responsibility. When parents are nicely following or ideal in their practice of devotional service, they will beget children. You know. Hey, Ryan, it's like, therefore the importance of uh, following these different samskaras. The samskaras, beginning with the Garbhodhana samskara, and other samskaras will give this kind of uh, effect or result. Anything is like that. Okay. So this is being uh, given here, and there are many such examples. Narada Muni, Prabhupada, names anyone, um, even the perfect examples, of course, um, are those that Srila Prabhupada himself has given in terms of bringing this transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita to people even outside of the Vedic culture. In other words, it is a question of association. If one is fortunate to get the association, as in the case of Narada Muni, saintly persons, then one can also become saintly. So, therefore, the great need for devotees to give their association. Give their association, Prabhupada would explain, when we interact with people, we don't adopt their mentality. Rather, we try to share the Krishna conscious mentality, Krishna conscious understanding. That is the real meaning of association. Therefore, a great need for Vaishnavas to travel, to communicate, to interact with as many people as possible for the purpose of presenting this transcendental knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in this way, the whole world, it's taking place now actually, because every day we're coming in contact, the more we continue to expand these. I just read one small story, true story. Siberia in Russia, coldest place on the planet practically. So there was one small town near Siberia. Siberia is like one place, one small village near Siberia. Actually, Russian people, they're very pious. And all communism has tried to kind of minimize or even destroy their practice. Many people, they remain very pious. So a small group of devotees had gone to this village. Everywhere there were like, it was full of nuns and priests. And how do you distribute books to people who are very strong in their belief? So this devotee was thinking, how am I going to distribute books here? So Krishna kind of guided him. He went to one particular place. It might have been a church. And he went and he saw some lights at the end. So he went there. And then it was a stairway going downstairs. And then so slowly, gradually, he was following Super Soul. And then as he came down, there was one person sitting behind some desk. And as soon as that person saw him coming down, he hid something. And so he was approaching this person, and he could see from that person was like very, very surprised and very happy. It was like, and then he came to know from that person that quite some time back he had met devotees. This was like in the early days when it was not legal to distribute books. So they started a conversation, and what was hiding to be complete shock and surprise. He was hiding a copy of the Bhagavatam. Years ago, he had received a copy, I think from his father. His father or grandfather had received it, and he told him, he had given him this book. You read this book, very important. So for years he was reading this book and always praying, because that there are so many other books, 12 cantos, 12 cantos, So he was praying and praying. Krishna, he became a devotee by reading the Bhagavatam. And so he was, it was totally a very nice example of prayer. That person was praying for a devotee to come. That person was praying for more copies of the Bhagavatam. And the devotee was praying, who can I be? Krishna, help me to find one person who can take your book, So that devotee had he had the whole set. So he gave him the whole set. You can imagine how ecstatic it was. So the association of the book Bhagavata, the association of the Bhagavata transforms lives. And who are doing book distribution, they have many such type of stories which are very nice to hear, and further demonstrate how the potency of these transcendental virtues. Okay. we can.
But you see, in devotees, their father was not devotee mostly because they against of the child become Krishna conscious.
In devotee community, non-devotee.
Yeah, non-devotee
community. Yeah.
The mother and they are not against of that.
Yeah.
If their son joined.
Yeah.
So how it is possible? Like, according to this verse, the person maybe half finished with Krishna consciousness. They got that devotees.
So the question is, we're reading here about when someone performs some pious activities, then he will take birth in a pious family, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas. But how can someone who is not born in such pious family become a devotee? More or less is what you're asking. Yeah. Although that person may not deserve the devotee. We don't. This is nicely explained. Also, we don't when we preach, we don't discriminate who is deserving and who is not deserving. That is a special mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without any discrimination. And that's exactly what Prabhupada did by going to the Western countries, by going to the non-Vedic countries. Obviously, they, we were born in Vaishnava family. Of course, many devotees were born in pious families, in that they were following some religious principles, and and many devotees also were searching, looking for spiritual knowledge, looking for Guru. So this is all connected with, okay, maybe they were not born in a Vaishnava family, but due to the Vaishnavas going out of their way, Prabhupada went out of his way. I mean, he left his own country, taking great risks. So that is a special feature of Vaishnavas. That is a special feature of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tuse Namaha. Lord Chaitanya is the most magnificent incarnation, and no consideration whether somebody is pious, impious. Actually, Lord Chaitanya's move is especially to give to the most undeserving or the most fallen. Yeah. So it is due to the mercy of the Vaishnavas, and that especially now in Kali Yuga, where fallen are taking birth, to those most fallen taking birth, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates and his followers are going out of their way to give them an opportunity. Those who have performed jhana, having performed pious activities, even a small amount of pious activity, one will get such kind of opportunity. So Prabhupada also mentioned one time that all of you who are coming to consciousness, you have some connection with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You did something before. It's not not by chance. Not by chance, yeah. No. Prabhupada did say one time also, even if by nature you don't have that fortune, God will come and give you that fortune. when the Buddha was asking this kind of question, Prabhupada, we're so from fallen background, always in all kinds of sinful activities. How is it that we've taken the Krishna consciousness? Prabhupada, I created your fortune. Yeah.
We can see that more the whose mother father are not good, that you will become very sick. In cases of who are good, then it's not very clear.
Sometimes happens. Yeah.
Maybe they have serious in the future.
Jai Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
बहुत